With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball.
He's got a man complete. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Now Stafford. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
On the return, here's Trey Edmonds. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The football going back over to the New Orleans Saints, and a team this year, Charles, that really took off after that Week 1 loss. For me, it all came together Week 9. You think back to that game when they beat the Rams, knocked off their undefeated streak to start the regular season. So now, are the Saints really Super Bowl winning contenders? I mean, do you put them in that category?
Well, I certainly do, and I think people were wondering how they would respond this season after what happened to end last season, the Minneapolis Miracle, where they ended up giving up the touchdown pass in the last play of the game in the playoffs. And when it started losing at home to Tampa Bay, many wondered if their psyche had really been affected, but they've regrouped since then. The defense is really playing well. And then there's always Drew Brees to Mike Thomas. And that has worked very well for them.
Well, since you mentioned Michael Thomas, and we talked about that win over the Rams, never forget going to get the flip phone, Mr. Michael Thomas, channeling his inner Joe Horn from back in the day. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So Brees is going to stay out there, and they're going to go for this on 4th down. They do go for it. It's Brees. He is going to find Hill here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st. On 1st and 10, here's Brees. And Watson has it right side. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Ready.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
But, writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Breeze to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On third down, Mark Ingram. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Defense. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. They're running. Ingram. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Breeze now on first down. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. On second down, Ingram looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. This is Riddick on the screen. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On 1st and 10, Stafford. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Kenny Golladay, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. From the 50, it's Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And here's Lewis. Able to push his way through. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the...
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Jared Davis able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way. He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a first down.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. He showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now Breeze on the bootleg. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Devon Kennard able to drop him for a loss of 4. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Jamal Agnew now to return it. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the...
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Cameron Jordan in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Yeah, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away. Nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So it's a third field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals.
Back now at Ford. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out?
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter into a double team and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up.
Now Breeze lost the football. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Holding, offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
On second down, here's Breeze. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. The Saints do snap it. It's Breeze. And Gibbs got it. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on fourth down.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort. But on fourth down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort picking up the first.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Breeze now on first down. Completes this one to Meredith. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football. But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. Now Breeze throwing on second down. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's third down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. On third down, it's Ingram. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Completing it here, Marvin Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They'll look to throw. Left side completion to Jones. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
His throw caught right around the 6. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. He'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those down quarterbacks.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they'll be down just outside of the end zone at the 1-yard line.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, not on out.
Oh, no time to pitch it, and down he goes, and it's in the end zone. That's going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Caught right side, Tate. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. He's back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. He hits Riddick underneath. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Stafford. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. And it's incomplete. And now we're down to 10 seconds. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Defensively now, one more play to stop. What are they looking for?
You want to take away their #1 running option that you've scouted and take away their #1 receiver and see if someone else can beat you.
Now it's Stafford. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over.